I'm Charlotte Day Wilson.
Hello, my name is Alexander William Sawinski.
Hey, what's up? This is Chester.
Hey, this is Leland.
We're Bad Bad Not Good.
I'm not in Bad Bad Not Good, but we wrote a song together, so that's why I'm here.
What's in my bag? You know what it is.
This is one of the ones I just grabbed. Spirit of Eden by Talk Talk. This and Laughingstock are so different than their music before. It sounds amazing, like the recording process was apparently crazy and very time-consuming. It's a great Sunday rainy afternoon play.
Got the Charles Mingus Town Hall concert. I guess it was like the last show that Eric Dolphy had ever played with them, so Mingus changed all the names of the songs on the record. Like there's a blues that they had been playing for a really long time, so he renamed it So Long Eric, and then Meditations on Integrations, which was a classic Mingus tune, changed to Praying with Eric. Great record.
All right, I was gonna hit you off with a heavy one right here. It's the reissue of Arthur Varekai's self-titled album. I believe this one is in stereo. I have a version at home, but it's in mono. And Leland was telling me that you can really hear the kind of like vibe and arrangements and percussion and panning a lot better. And it's like one of the most beautiful records, front to back. He's a badass, plays guitar, sings, does all the string arrangements, horn arrangements. You gotta hear this, it's incredible.
I also have an Arthur, but it's Arthur Russell. I got into him a few years ago after I watched this like amazing documentary. And my favorite one is one that it's called A Little Lost. I guess this is just a compilation, but I couldn't find any other records that had that song on it, but like it's just like such a beautiful, beautiful song.
'Cause I'm so busy thinking about kissing you. And now I wanna do that without entertaining another thought.
I was in Berlin this time last year and I like had a day where I just walked around and listened to that song like on repeat through the city, and so I have a very fond memory of that.
That's sweet.
This is one of my favorite albums of all time. If I had to pick one, rapper to be alone on a desert island with their catalog, not them, it would definitely be Doom's music, because it's just like, encompasses everything that hip hop can be. But there's so many good songs on this song. Rap snitches, probably.
Rap snitches, telling all their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label sent up for years.
Got Debussy, string quartet, classic $3 record. I don't know this interpretation, but it's just one of my all-time favorite string quartets. Absolutely beautiful, gorgeous. Could definitely shed a tear to this record.
Got Gary Wilson, You Think You Really Know Me. We had the incredible opportunity to play live with Earl Sweatshirt on Jimmy Kimmel. I think that was last year, the year before. And the song we were playing, Grief, at the end goes into a sample by Gary Wilson. The song You Were Too Good to Be True. And Gary Wilson was there, and he came on stage with us and duct taped his head in this fashion that he does. I believe actually in the photos at the back, he's just got like tapes, it looks like maybe 1/4 inch or whatever, just like wrapped all over his body. I think that's probably the vibe after, a long day at the studio. You just wrap yourself in the tape and just kind of like let it be with you. 6.4 equals Makeout, also Fire Track.
Wow, that's such a good name.
6.4 equals Makeout.
This is Aretha live at the Fillmore West. There's a rendition that she does of Bridge Over Troubled Water. It feels like an intimate performance. You can hear people like yelling back at her being like, "Sing it, Aretha." And she's just like slaying.
Yes, like a bridge over troubled water. I'll be there to lead me down.
Got Andy Shaw, The Party. Great Canadian songwriter, musician, arranger, producer.
I'm a shaking in the
record I got into recently because of this guy, actually. But it just has really relatable music, and it's just really nice.
Great album. I second that. This actually relates a lot to that album because they're both really cool songwriters and singers. As
Canadians.
Goon by Stossel Jr.
How could you, baby? Well, how could you, baby?
Again, it's just like the songs are really well written and emotional, and it's a great record.
Yeah. Might have to trade records after a little bit.
Classics.
Classics.
I don't actually know where I found the song, but there's a song called Baby. Just really fabulous. It's so smooth, so gentle. You play it, it just kind of takes you away.
Yes, so baby.
You know, just like look at these guys having fun, looking handsome. You know, sometimes that's all it is.
This is just an album that I've been like really into playing along to recently. You know, jazz fusion can get a little like cheesy if you want to call it that, but this is like one of my top most badass amazing jazz fusion albums. It's more rocky than a lot of the other stuff, which I think makes it amazing.
What's the violin player's name?
It's not Jean-Luc Ponty, it's actually this dude.
Jerry Goodman.
Yeah.
Cool, I don't know him. Well, I know I've listened to that record. Transition, Coltrane, great record. A lot of people talk about like the two eras of Coltrane, kind of like the start, like post-bop, which is really more listenable, and then like late avant-garde free jazz stuff, and this is kind of like right in the middle of those two eras, so kind of encompasses who he was as an artist, really.
Bill Summers, on this album, there's a song called Flying High, or just Flying, sorry, Flying. He's a percussionist and vocalist, and it's just like one of these like, just kind of takes you in. Has so much momentum and drive, and everyone in the band is like super tight, but it's got so much like power and quote unquote swag, if there's a bad term for it, but it's so good. You gotta hear the song. The arrangements are beautiful, everyone playing in the band is killing it, he's crushing it on the percussion. It's like one of those tracks you can like DJ and get people going. Lighting the match on the back cover because you know he's got heat.
I picked this one because I have no idea what it is, but I just really like the title, Lavender Jane Loves Women. So that drew me in. I found this in the folk section.
Beware, young ladies, they're fooling you. Trust them not, they're fooling you.
This is like 1975, and it's this woman saying, feminism is the theory, lesbianism is the practice.
If we don't let manpower keep us apart, or mankind keep us apart, we've won. What I mean is, we ain't got it easy, but we got it.
I did a little Wikipedia search. Looks like she wrote this after coming out, after having like being married and having a kid with some guy. So that was pretty cool, revolutionary.
Yeah.
This is one of like my favorite new albums to come out in a bit. Anderson .Paak is just like one of the best vocalist singers around now, and Knowledge is amazing. I'm stoked to get more into his catalog also.
She with it. Got a whole lot of women, all of them with it. Yes, Lord.
All right, this is my last one. Eric Dolphy, Copenhagen, which was also released as Eric Dolphy live in Europe, I guess. I feel like one of the most famous Eric Dolphy songs is God Bless the Child, which is just him by himself playing bass clarinet, and has that on this record.
Is that the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Yeah, so yeah, also the Red Hot Chili
Fun
Peppers
fact.
have been playing God Bless the Child from this record to start off all their live shows, which is pretty cool. Shout out Flea.
We got a duo here. 1, 2, 3, bang! In Your Eyes.
In Your Eyes.
George B.
In your eyes, found the answers to my questions. In your eyes.
Who's that?
Mary MacGregor.
In your eyes I go flying. In your lies I see you hiding.
We made a song called Charlotte did.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then,
no, we did.
And then a lot of other, and then, yeah, well, I guess, yeah, we did. A lot of other people made songs and albums called In Your Eyes.
It's a pretty like classic title, which I
Yeah.
think matches the tone of the song that we wrote.
Yeah, totally.
Kind of classic sounding.
Looking in someone's eyes is powerful. Staring contests are difficult. This one's also produced by Kashif, who passed away last year, so shout out to Kashif because he's amazing. Don't know this album, I listened to it for a moment and it kind of encompassed what I've heard this gentleman do. He's an arranger. His name is Gary McFarland. I think this album is about like him traveling through America and like working on forests and stuff like that and kind of getting inspiration from that, but what he does is super beautiful and like expressive and tonal fighting, and yeah, he just opens it up and closes it all through. So this one sounds really cool too. And it's got Bernard P on drums, Bernard Purdy, one of my favorites. Shuffle master. Hopefully this is the way it's gonna be, you know? 2017 America. We're beautiful.
Cool. Thanks so much, guys.
Sweet.
Perfect.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
No, thank you.
Thank
I'm
you.
very happy
Yeah.
to be a part of this.